Yeah, one of the biggest topics of all time, probably the storm within, uh, n- the peace, or the way you have heard things to be within you. That peace is missing. There is always a storm within, and it's not even heard. Probably you have been lacking it for a long, long time. Ever since you were a kid, probably you haven't had that peace since then. And obviously because of social media, access to internet and everything, you can hear a lot of great people give advices. So these advices start from basic career stuff like work hard, get this, they get this, get this. And amazing, some of the most successful people give that advice. And then you come to the other side, which is the philosophical side, and you have so many great speakers, right? And they tell you things about to care less, to practice detachment, and to not care so much, to know that things will end, all these philosophical things. And um, it's so strange, right? First, you are not able to get certain things in your life, material things, material as in the worldly things like money, maybe power, relationships, etc. And you pursued them, and none of them, I'm pretty sure you must have gotten a lot of it. You must have gotten a lot of money, power, relationships, etc. But they were never, they never matched the image in your head. So then you turn inwards and you're like, okay, let me pursue the self development part. Let me do this. I can make myself peaceful, calm, etc., etc., etc. And when you do that, you realize, oh, I cannot, because everybody is telling me, a lot of them are telling you to not care. How can you not care? Like, you, if you're doing something, or if you are with someone, you're going to have expectations, or you will care. If you are working on something, you will have expectations, or you will care about the result. How can you not care? Strange thing, right? So from the outwardly, pursuits, you turn inwards and you're like, now I'll make myself the best or peaceful, I'll be at peace. And even that isn't completely true. A lot of the people, suggest to be you to be alone, just be with your thoughts, and it's great, and it's this, and it's that. But can you just sit in a room and be alone? And let's say if you are a 20, 25, or 35-year-old, and you just sit in a room alone all day, is that the answer? That's, again, that's a great answer when you have everything around you which is working. So let's say you have the money, you have the relationships, and etc., and they are not, and yet you are not peaceful, and then you practice these things, then it's great. But if you crave the worldly things and you don't have them, and then you try to be peaceful and all of that, let's say you want a car and you want a car to travel, or you want your life to be easier, and you try to practice non-attachment, it's just so strange, right? The debate is endless, and that is what I mean by storm. It's not just a lack of something. Like, the mind keeps on processing information, trying to find new information, trying to believe that there is some information out there that will release me from this storm. But I'm sure all of you have seen and lived for decades now, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50, 60 years. I don't know who is watching, but you have seen all your life that it never really goes away. You have one desire, it gets met or doesn't get met, and then, or it gets met but not in the way you want, and still there is this lack of coherence. It's so strange. And then you get on the other side where you're like, I give up on all of these, and I'm just going to follow a particular path. I'll just find a proper job or work, and I'm just going to go there and work every day and ignore these things a little. Even that has some place into it. That's the whole problem with this storm, that it's never one or the other. It's not that you can leave out worldly possessions, or money, fame, relationship, success, etc., what you want. You can leave this completely and just be peaceful, alone, quiet, and not socialize at all. Because if you are with people, there is going to be some sort of disconcert or disagreement. So how do we avoid conflict? So there are so many things, and all of them, the whole duality of it, like, two things are true at the same time. Like, somebody is great and bad at the same time, and you have that feeling within you that, okay, I need to practice detachment. But how can you be detached? You go and, some things turned out to be great, some things don't turn out to be great. You are stuck in that mind, and then you leave the thinking behind. You're like, I'm going to leave everything behind, I'm just going to enjoy, the world out there. And again, a great way, but again, it all of that really, so all these theories and, all these advices, they work really amazingly till the time you are interacting with things that you don't care about. So let's say you're playing a sport, you're with someone, you are doing this, you're doing that, all of that, all of these principles, you will think that you have got it made, you have understood it, so let's say somebody gets angry a lot, and they learn all these philosophies and all these things, and it will work great until and unless you are with someone or you want something really, and then all of those rules, all of those understandings get aside. It's endless. I mean, it keeps on happening again and again and again, and it never really happens with something you just sort of like. It always happens with someone, something that you really like, particular goal, a particular person, a particular thing you want. So what is the answer? And then you add on top of all of this, the uncertainty of the world. And obviously, because of the world opening so much now, everything is up for grabs. Very difficult to find, actually good people around you. No, that's not true. There are good people, but they obviously come with their pros and cons. You see how even my mind, while talking about this, is just debating left and right and, up and down, and it's just endless. So what do you do? What do you do? One thing that I can understand is, probably you can try and get to some sort of a root cause. Maybe you have, and I think the root cause is same for everybody, right? Fear of failure, that maybe I'm not good enough. Fear of losing someone, a person. Fear of failure, not being good enough, fear of losing someone. These are some of the basic things that all of us have, and probably the mind evolved in such a way. I think it's just a survival mechanism, so probably it evolved in such a way, to keep you fearful or to keep you not relaxed, so that you can survive. But obviously there has to be a limit, and generally the mind crosses that limit and you go into this overdrive, and it is never a pleasant experience within yourself. And then you get turned on to all these, self-improvement sector or space, and it's just endless. One speaker, it's great. I mean, what great points he or she made, and let me think about it, and it feels great, and it distracts you for the moment. And then after some time, when you are you start struggling again. So it's so strange, so strange. Probably what some basic things you can do. You can have some sort of a social circle. Obviously that will take again some effort. You have to go out, socialize, which is again big effort in itself, and all of those things. I would think that probably you just need to find things that you would really like to do, and without judgment. Something as basic as playing a sport, something as basic as just making this video or sharing thoughts, something very, very basic that you just like to do, and you do it in you keep it very, very organic. And even when we were kids, we were doing a lot of the same things, right? We were not, it wasn't that I was going to school thinking I would be a great scholar. I was just going there, and I happened to be good at studies or bad at studies, and all of those things happen. So I think that intention, that whole thing of target or result in my head, and obviously over a period of time you have had all these emotional hurt, or these thoughts in your head, or somebody mistreated you and they have just taken root hold in your heart or in your mind. There's no way around it. There's no way around it. You just got to keep sit peacefully, look at people around you. There are some good people around you, give them value. There are some not so good people around you, try and interact as much as you can, but if you can't, you can do nothing else. And the worst part is that you really cannot stop it. The day mind stops thinking or working or comparing or thinking about the future or the past, all those things, you will lose some part, or probably you will even die. So just know, I would think that at the end it's only sort of a surrender, but surrender not in a very give up sort of a way, right? So when I say surrender, it's just surrender knowing that you don't have control over it, but surrender in a way that I have to engage fully. I think that's the way, that you are engaging and at the same time strange, or you allow yourself to suffer as well, but you don't stop yourself from engaging. It's so strange. I don't have an answer, obviously. If you do, please let me know. I'll be happy to learn. There's no end to this, but hopefully you find some peace within yourself and you calm down that storm, because there are so many good things to experience, to learn, to live. And I hope you find some people around you who can motivate you to do that, or at least who can show you that way. And really good people, I just don't mean superficial people, really good people who will stick by you. And the only way to do that is to take a risk. That's it. What we did as kids, without thinking, just that thought is involved now, and it's your friend rather than enemy. All right, thank you so much. Take care. Bye bye.